Ann and Robin Matthews grew out of their grass into gardens, front and back. They joined with neighbor Donis Doyle to unite their yards and philosophies: low water use, artistic expression, and wildlife habitat. Priorities have changed since they kept up their lawns.
Which was great when you had kids and play and baseball and football and this, that, and the other. And then they grew up and we don't have any need for that much grass, and it's expensive to water it. So over the years, we have just gotten rid of the grass little by little, and so now we have no grass at all. Ornamental plants and vegetables.
We started out with a circle. It was going to be my herb garden, herb and butterfly garden, and so we did that. And we just kept extending until we had very little grass anyway. And then after that, we decided, we're tired of mowing around these beds. And edging around the beds.
Rather than dig out all the grass, they made the job easier by covering most of it with layers of newspaper over landscaping fabric.
That's really to keep the gravel and the pebbles from sinking into the dirt, and just disappear over a period of time.
Then they topped it with mulch, gravel, and decomposed granite. Berms heighten plants for privacy, drainage, and visual perspective. For privacy and a barrier to road noise, they built an artistic screen with textured hardy plank.
Our hobby is archaeology, and we've gotten very involved in Texas ancient Indian rock art. In fact, this is one of the rock art sites in Seminole Canyon State Park. So we decided to build a wall and then draw examples of some of the rock art sites that we have been to in Texas, all over the state. It's sort of a memory thing in terms of the archaeological sites that we have been to. And we can go out there and sit and drink our coffee, read the paper, or just sit and ponder.
On the other side of the garden, bay laurels enclose them with edible leaves. They've always grown vegetables. Now they've given them a stylish venue that's easy to navigate and tend. Robin built its entrance arbor.
These are honeydew projects, so talk about that.
It gives a little height to the yard. The berms gave a little bit of relief, but then we needed something that was higher, and besides trees. And so that was something that I wanted, and so Robin built it for me for Christmas. I told my children that I think it would be really fun to have a wind vane. So they searched forever and found a wind vane for me for Christmas one year.
Since handmade art is integral to them, they completed their new picture with a sculpture they bought. They added lights for nighttime outdoors. Robin brought out the saw again, this time for a tucked-in viewpoint.
And then the bower, again, is a little privacy thing from the backyard. It's also another little garden room, and that's something I really like. So he built that for me too. And I like all our little garden rooms. We have little places to sit all around our yard.
And places to play, like Robin's washer pit.
We decided against horseshoes because you have the spikes sticking up and people would trip on them.
To narrow the focus, Ann and Robin invite close-up views. Especially, they like to focus on the wildlife that joins them in their certified backyard habitat. Robin built a bird feeder with a PVC pipe that he painted and topped with an old satellite dish. To water the gardens, they repurposed hatched chili pepper barrels, primed with kills, painted, and stamped. A tank in the side garden quickly collects 250 gallons from rain-washed gutters. They even installed a larger tank in front, screened from view with evergreen star jasmine on Robin's trellis.
And so we, hooked it up so that if the overflow would run out and into our dry creek bed.
The dry creek serves another purpose.
The one in our front is to help drain the excess water because the entire front part of our house, half of our roof line drains into the front yard. And in a real severe situation, it collects water considerably. So we decided we would need a way to drain excess water out quickly. So we did that. Our next door neighbor, Donis, did a similar dry creek bed to collect water off of her house. It diverts it to the back part of her yard, which keeps it from flowing into the front part of our yard.
In front, they dug out grass and built berms filled with edibles, ornamentals, and plants that bring wildlife to their front door. Friends and neighbors often join them in their front yard dining room. Low water plants in the hot curb strip attract a lot more attention from wildlife and neighbors than the former grass that was hard to irrigate. To signify the new path, Robin constructed cement molds around standard pavers.
And then on the wet cement that we poured, we drew Indian rock art figures that we've learned about in our archaeological explorations in Texas.
Their paths unite with long-term neighbor and friend Donis Doyle.
We do things together. And so we decided, well, let's just make our yards blend together.
Donis dumped her grass, photinias, and routine walkway for fragrance, vibrance, and dimension. She promotes each journey with handcrafted art that she embellishes. For privacy and back from a daycare center, Robin assisted with the installation of galvanized panels after posts and framing were completed by a professional.
You can sit out there and feel like you're in a little room.
Donis grows her edibles in stock tanks. For both families, it's a connection that extends far beyond their friendship.
Every little, stepping stone, rock path, every little whatever has its own memories attached to it.
And it's also the neighborhood. We have a lot of people that walk around in this neighborhood, and people are always walking by our front yards, Donis's and ours, and stopping and looking. And if we see them, we'll go out and talk to them and get to know them.